Good evening and welcome to 27 Minutes here on WJTS UPN 27. In our education segment this week, Toni Frick stopped by Celestine Elementary and Southridge Middle School for some reading lessons and book exploring.
I enjoyed reading about the founding fathers and how they saw this nation and its beginnings and what it should become.
Just how important is reading anyway? For Abraham Lincoln, it may have been the beginning of his walk towards his future as a United States president.
The new Constitution. The voters liked the new set of rules, and on November 1st, 1851, the new Constitution replaced the old one.
Okay, so they...
For some Celestine fourth graders, it's part of the daily skills needed for studying subjects such as Indiana history.
To 61 days.
It's a skill that many take for granted, but use at work or for recreation almost daily.
The thing to do at the library is to learn. To learn good things, to learn things that will make us grow to be the best possible people we can be.
Yes, learning to read is important.
All of a sudden, it's like anything we give you, you're able to read it for us. And sometimes we...
According to Celestine's first grade teacher, Mrs. Jo Linda Scott, the process by which we learn to read remains a mystery, even to many educators. Yet the key to developing good reading skills is to make reading important.
Anyone that knows, tell me.
E-R.
If children feel successful in the initial stages of reading, natural motivation will increase. They will be enthusiastic and trust in their ability to learn. So how can parents help their children to continue to develop these reading skills? Let's take a few lessons from the Celestine Elementary teachers.
It's underlined.
First, children should see parents and other important people in their lives regularly enjoying reading. After all, children do have a strong tendency to imitate those whom they love and admire.
Played baseball with my mommy, my daddy, and my brother, and me.
And me, okay. For Celestine kindergarten teacher Joanne Werdiner, motivation, repetition, modeling, and reinforcing begin with one important lesson. Who you are is important. Even as they begin learning their ABCs, they explore the art of creating and reading their own books, journaling the events of their lives with letter and art, and processing to sound out words, and even, yes, typing and sketching with the computer.
At the beginning of the year, Tyler would tell me what he would like to say, and I would write it down for him, and he would draw the picture to go with it. After that, they start writing the beginning sound for each word, and then from there we start writing the whole word. And as we're doing this throughout the school year, they're learning how to read, write, and spell through their journal writing.
Can a mother do this at home with her student?
A mother can do this at home. Emily, has your mom ever done this with you at home?
What?
Do the journal writing?
Mm-hmm.
I've encouraged it at home, and right now we're doing I likes at home, and every night we have a special child, and every student writes what they like about this child and draws a picture for this child, and it ends up with a very special book.
Students were eager to share.
I go hunting with my daddy.
Okay.
Baby Alex came over to my house. I watched TV. Me and my dad were playing volleyball.
Okay, can I see your picture? Okay. And you wrote I already? Okay, I, and then play. What does play begin with? P.
With many opportunities for success, children will naturally learn to read. The main job of educator and parent is to provide the right opportunities for learning at the right time. Learning to read can and should also be fun.
We will have more right after this. It's now time for today's homeowner, brought to you by Kremp Lumber Company in Jasper.
Now, you probably have a door like this one in your house that kids just seem to leave open all the time. Now, it's great to have an automatic door closure for a door like this, but in the past, the commercial ones have been very bulky and not very attractive. Well, nowadays, we're finding more and more manufacturers coming out with a residential style opener that's perfect for this type of application. Now, installation is very easy. It'll come with a template that shows you exactly where the screws need to be installed on the door as well as on the door jamb itself. Also, it has a little adjustment screw that'll allow you to adjust for the rate of closure as well as the weight of the door. This particular one is a hollow core door. Many exterior doors will be solid and much heavier than this. Also, it has a finish on it that'll allow you to paint this to match any of your trim. Now, if you keep the door closed, you're going to save energy, and in the long run, save a lot of money.
27 minutes will return right after this. Welcome back. Last week, the Greater Downtown Jasper Business Association celebrated Honest Abe Days.
You know what he did to me? He like pulled his hair. He looked at me.
Hi, how are you this morning?
Fine.
Du Bois County residents welcomed a famous visitor to downtown Jasper over Valentine's weekend.
Right, thanks.
Just out on my birthday for a tour of
In celebration of his birthday, Abraham Lincoln visited. He stopped by to see toys on display at the Du Bois County Museum and visited with area merchants and customers.
Cute. I'm doing quite well.
Jasper Mayor William Schmidt also welcomed Mr. Lincoln, and members of the 7th Indiana Volunteer Cavalry escorted him around the Du Bois County Courthouse Square.
This morning it seems he ordered some fine weather for me. I appreciate it.
Area students were there to get his autograph or have their photo taken with the distinguished 16th President of the United States.
Perfect, thank you.
Some could even relate to why this visit to Indiana would hold special memories for the former U.S. President.
Lincoln? Have you ever read any books about Lincoln?
Yeah.
What was the thing that interested you most about Lincoln?
Where he lived.
Okay, what was unique about him living in Indiana? What did he like to do when he was a kid?
Read.
You sure? I think there's something on the back of that too. What is that, Amber? What is that?
Abraham Lincoln's email.
Do you think Lincoln had an email back then?
No.
So what do you think that one's for?
To find out what he's like.
A young boy from Spencer County, President Lincoln, along with his father Thomas, traveled to Jasper to have their grain ground at Enlow's Mill.
President Lincoln, a.k.a. Dean Durrell, was visiting as part of an Honest Abe Day promotion sponsored by the Greater Downtown Jasper Business Association as an appreciation and support of Du Bois County government.
I didn't feel like we got us into the Civil War.
And true, the real President Lincoln in his day was not faced with internet security and hacker troubles. The 16th President of the United States was faced with decisions that dealt with trying to hold a nation together during a civil war. It was the casualties of that war that led to his famous speech, "Fourscore and..."
Go. Our fathers brought forth on this continent a new nation, conceived in liberty, and dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal. Now we are engaged in a great civil war, testing whether that nation or any nation so conceived and so dedicated can long endure. We are met on a great battlefield of that war. We have come to dedicate a portion of that field as a final resting place for those who here gave their lives that that nation might live. It is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. But in a larger sense, we cannot dedicate, we cannot consecrate, we cannot hallow this ground. Brave men, living and dead, who struggled here and consecrated it far above our poor power to add or detract. The world will little note nor long remember what we say here, but it can never forget what they did here. It is for us, the living, rather, to be dedicated here to the unfinished work which they who fought here have thus far so nobly advanced. It is rather for us to be here dedicated to the great task remaining before us. That from these honored dead we take increased devotion to that cause for which they gave the last full measure of devotion. We here highly resolve that these dead shall not have died in vain. This nation, under God, shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people, shall not perish from the earth.
The good old boys are revving up those engines down in Daytona. We will preview the Jasper number 77 team when we come back. The NASCAR Winston Cup season starts Sunday with the Super Bowl of auto racing, which of course is the Daytona 500. I had a chance to talk to Jasper Engines driver Robert Presley and new crew chief Ryan Pemberton about the number 77 car and NASCAR racing in general. Ryan, as a crew chief that's been around NASCAR racing for a while, what made you want to join the Jasper 77 team?
I think it's the technology and the support that the race team has behind it, such as the people here in Jasper. So I think that's a big advantage to any race team.
Ryan, as you start a new season, what kind of goals do you have for the team?
Oh, we got to improve on the existing record, and you know, the goals would be the top 15 in the points by mid-year. So we've had a good test at Daytona and a good test at Talladega, and we plan on starting off, you know, with some steam.
Robert, behind the wheel last year, the 77 team, there were some good times, there were some bad times. How has the off-season preparation been going as you head into the new NASCAR season?
I think what we're doing now, I know it's a long-term deal. We've made these spikes going up and falling back down, going up, falling down. And I think we've either been good or bad. We've never had a consistency at all. And I think with Ryan coming on, is we're going to get up, we're going to spike up real quick, and we're going to level out and stay there. I mean, everything that Ryan has to offer our race team, we have everything there, but we have nobody to run it or manage it or use the tools that we've got to make our team excel. And I mean, I'm so excited about having Ryan there right now that, I mean, 2 tests already, getting ready to go to Vegas next week. I mean, we've already accomplished more in the first 30 days of 2000 than I felt like I have in the 3 years I've been there.
Robert, in talking to you in the past, I know that you wanted to do better on the big tracks, the super speedways, if you will.
Our speedway program last year, there's 4 races, Daytona and Talladega, 2 each, and we made the Daytona 500 by racing our way in. You know, we qualified, didn't have a good qualifying. Qualifying is so much different from racing. And then we went to Talladega and used a provisional. Went to Daytona and Talladega at the end of the year and missed both of them races. So it was like we was good at the beginning of the year and then just went straight down. Well, we've been to Talladega and we was one of the 3 fastest cars at Talladega testing. Went to Daytona and one of the 5 fastest cars in Ford testing. Left there with 8th place overall. Last year, this same time, we was 39th overall at Daytona. And our average start on the speedway last year was 42nd. So, I mean, from 42nd to 8th, and Ryan hadn't even give us everything we need yet.
In recent years, NASCAR has just exploded overall. Did you ever see it getting this big?
I used to I started this business as a hobby. I enjoyed, racing, and the business didn't come in on me quicker than what I ever thought it would come in. And I've really been ahead of watching the acceleration of this sport. It just keeps on going and going and going. I don't know where it's going to stop, but the thing that I've learned in the last 3 years, that used to, it was a driver versus horsepower. Now, they were 90% of what happened. Now it's 90% crew and preparation and 10% driver.
Robert, you will be starting your 3rd year with the team. How important is the stability factor, knowing that you've been down some of these roads before?
3 years ago, it was a long-term project, make the team excel each year. We've not, actually last year was worse than the year before. So this year here, we know what we've done wrong for 3 years now. We know what to do right, and that's why Ryan's here. Ryan has got the capability of putting us into the, I think the top 15, maybe even the top 10. But, we've always tried just to go a little at a time, and just going a little at a time, you're going to fall further behind because of the way technology is. You've got to have key people in key places doing key things. And by the time our guys was learning, we was already behind further the next week or next month than we'd been. And Ryan's brought people in that specializing in just certain areas where he can stay focused on the areas he needs to improve this team on.
Some of the other NASCAR drivers have also driven on the Busch Series in recent years. You have also had some good success on the Busch Series. Will you do some of that this year?
I think it would go back to the same thing as Jasper starting a second team. If we can get the first team up to the level we want it, then, yes, Robert Presley needs to go run some Busch races, just for experience, just for track time. But if we're not got our Winston Cup program right, I made a mistake 2 years ago of running a full Busch Series schedule and a Winston Cup, because you cannot give 100% in both of them. And if one lagging just a little bit, you're pulling it down a little more, plus the other one not being up to par where it should be. Mark Martin has a top 5 Winston Cup team and a top 5 Busch team. So they help each other. If he had a bad Busch team, he would quit it, say, whenever you get it up to my level, I'll be back. And that's basically what I'm going to do.
Right out of the chute, it's the Daytona 500. How important is this race in setting the tone for the rest of the Winston Cup season?
I don't think you look at the first few. You look at that very first race.
Okay.
That's the start of the whole deal. And the only way to win every race is win the first race. Or the only way to finish every race is finish the first race. And that's one thing we've not done in the past, is being consistent enough to be there, to capitalize off of what we have. You know, I've had days, last year at Daytona, we was running night all day, and 10 laps ago had, you know, an axle to slide out of the ratchet and ended up 19th. You know, you look back today, we finished 19th, but we run in the top 10. You know, but we've had days where we run 30th all day and ended up 20th, you know. So people only look at that final number at the end of that race, and that's why I hate to block out a quarter of the season or a half a season. I like to go one race at a time because that's the most important race.
Good luck to the number 77 team as they begin the season on Sunday with the Daytona 500. That will wrap up 27 minutes for this week for the entire 27 Minutes crew. I'm Kurt Gutgsell. Have a great weekend.